Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. Today I know exactly what I want to talk to you about. I've been thinking about this. This is another one that burbled up the other day while I was in a meditative state. And it goes like this. Personality is a prison. It is. Your personality sets the limits of your reality. If you didn't know that, now you do. And I think this is one of the main reasons that I became so fascinated with, being an INFJ and the cognitive stack and all the blind spots. And I don't know if there's many little nooks of INFJness that I haven't explored. Um, Basically, I can see the parameters of the enclosure that defines my life, and I should speak just for me. But if you're an INFJ, you're going to have a very similar sort of prison. You're going to have a very similar, in many ways, sort of existence. And of course, there's other factors other than personality that have a bearing on your existence, like say your upbringing, was it positive or negative, or are you attractive or unattractive, or IQ? I think that's a big one, although IQ is no guarantor of success. That's a well-known fact. A lot of very intelligent people are maybe not losers, but they're not necessarily as successful as people that are less intelligent. So I think personality, though, is definitely going to be the thing that defines the parameters of what you can experience, what you can achieve, and even what you can dream about, right? So now, if you're happy with your existence, and I have to say, I'm an oracle here in the temple, and people bring me gifts and then ask me for my visionary advice, and it's a wonderful existence. I have very little to complain about, but I would like more people coming to consult me. I would like bigger and nicer them to bring nicer and more extravagant gifts. Uh, but I'm a bit limited because maybe the oracle on the other island next to me, he just tells people more what they want to hear. I don't know. We're going off on the tangents, but the point is a valid one. And so, how do you? Okay, so I just said I'm relatively happy with my existence and how it's going down. Um, I could be happier, of course, but all things told, things are going fairly well, and that's definitely a reflection of my personality. That said, if I want to expand things, if I want to branch out, if I want to move to another level, the only way that I will be able to do that is by changing who I am. You can't change your life without changing who you are. And this is one of the most difficult things to do. And I've been working a bit on this my whole life. I wouldn't say that I hit it really hard, nonstop, year after year. It's more like every now and again a season comes around where you decide, well, I'm going to work on this or that or the other thing. I remember I'm quite an old dragon, as you may have surmised. I remember when Anthony Robbins was a new thing. And I remember, I don't know if it was I think my boss at the time was listening to some of his stuff there in the office that we shared. And so I got a sampling, and I got nothing bad to say about Tony Robbins. He's not the same sort of personality as I am. So in many ways, a lot of his advice is going to be, yeah, just okay. But one of the things that he taught me early on that stayed with me, at least it stayed with me when things are going well. When things are not going well, it's because I've forgotten it. And that is, You don't want to think about a bunch of negative crap. You know, what you think about, what you entertain on a regular basis is going to be the other thing that very much defines your life. And to a large degree, uh, that is something you have control over. You don't have to dwell on or think about negative things. And we were touching on that last week, and I wanted to get a little further into that because do I have a lot of great advice for you on how to change your personality? Well, it would start with changing your thinking, your habitual thinking. It would start with trying to be aware of your patterns. Now, that's very hard. It's like trying to visualize what your own back looks like without a photograph, right? You have a rough idea. Maybe you can feel back there and feel some scales or wings, but you don't really know exactly what it looks like. And other people do, though. And I guess that would be a topic for another broadcast. But so if you want to change who you are, it has to start with changing your habitual thinking. And that has to start with becoming aware of the patterns that you are engaging with on a regular basis. And this is where, having someone like a coach or something could be really, really helpful. But, let's face it, Anthony Robbins charges a lot of money to coach people. I'd say most anyone who's extremely effective is probably going to charge you something. Although another belief that I entertain is that the best coaches, the best trainers are the people that the universe puts into your life, and you really just need to avail yourself of the lessons that they have for you. Because if you try to skip ahead, what could happen is you'll end up maybe getting slammed down. So it's incremental. That's the other thing. You can't be stressed out. And I think as INFJs, that is something we don't particularly have the type of personality that most people around us would have. And for that reason, we are left to our own devices quite often. It's you may have other INFJs in your life and not know it, or some of them wiser, or some of them help you. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel. Just I'm not saying I'm all knowing. God knows. In fact, it's pretty obvious since I don't have a script. It's pretty easy to tell exactly where I'm at on just about anything. But I am older, and I do think that I've been here many, many times before. And for that reason, I think me bringing up topics and perhaps sharing insights that could help you, could help my fellow INFJs. And this is a big one. So you may want to expand your personality. You may want to expand your life. It's going to be one of the toughest things that you ever try to do, but it's totally doable. And I'm not, in many ways, not the same person I was even 10 years ago. Certainly not the person I was, or dragon, as the case may be, that I was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. The core identity is the same, and that's maybe the last thing I wanted to touch on. That's the place that you reach in a meditative state. And that's the raw reality. That's the base reality. That is the same thing as the universe. It's the non-conditioned reality. It's the pre-reality. And I think if you can spend some time every day there and make it known that you want to be the most effective actor in the universal director's play. How about that? Doesn't mean you're the best guy or the worst guy or gal, as the case may be. Just that you are living up to your capacity and potential. You are utilizing the gifts that you have. And that would be very much defined by the parameters of the personality prison that you occupy. There, I wrapped it up. I brought it back to a nice conclusion. I'll be back in a couple days, INFJs, Till then, keep on keeping on.